with us this morning as well. But we begin with the game of the night, and it comes from the NBA. The Brooklyn Nets, the new look Nets, on the road against Cleveland. That's Kyrie's former team. He makes the return. He's pointing to the ring finger. He won a championship in Cleveland. Pick it up, fourth quarter. Nets have been trailing much of the night, but James Harden trying to bring them back. Took just 14 shots, finished with a 21-point triple-double. Under 3 minutes to go. Brooklyn is down 5. Kevin Durant finding his space. Doesn't need much. Finished with a team-high 38. It's a one-possession game. Just over a minute left. Joe Harris. No. Kyrie. Yes. Brooklyn ties it at 1:13 in the final minute. 11 seconds left. Colin Sexton turns it over. Kyrie's got a chance to win it. Look at the time. 4 seconds. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. Oh, it's poked away. They actually call a charge on Kyrie. That would be challenged. It would be reversed. There wasn't enough time left to do anything about it anyway, so we're going to overtime. First possession in the OT for Brooklyn. It's Kyrie. Off the screen. Straightaway three. 37 points in 48 minutes for Kyrie in his return. On the other side, Cleveland still down 3. Larry Nance Jr. Yes, we're tied at 120. Next, Nets possession. Harden driving, kicking. That's Jeff Green who knocks it down. Nets a 3-point lead. What a game. 5 seconds to go. Nets by 3. Sexton on Kyrie. 4 seconds. 3 seconds. Oh, he knocks it in. 1.6 seconds remaining. That one goes. So the Nets have one final chance to win it in the first overtime. Kevin Durant, he played 50 minutes, and that one's not there. We go to a second OT, and that would belong to the Cavs. A little over 2 minutes to go. Cavs up by 5. It's Sexton. Yes, Sexton with a game-high 42. Cavaliers in double overtime. 147, 135. Kyrie, let's talk.
You know, we'll have good nights, we'll have great nights, but it's how we galvanize this group together and how we sacrifice and compromise for the greater good.
Great glimpses. We started off the game very, very, very good. Just the entire game, we just got to find a way to get stops when we need to.
It felt perfect. It felt like we belong together. This journey together is going to be fun. You know, it was a tough first start, and especially it was an up and down game for us. But I like where we are.
The big fella is up early with us here this morning. It's Kendrick Perkins. And Big Perk, this was a game we were so looking forward to, and it obviously, in a lot of ways, lived up to the hype with double overtime and all the big numbers. What was your number one takeaway from last night?
Well, Greeny, the number one takeaway was that Kyrie missed time, and he came back and took almost 30 shots. Look, the word sacrifice should never come out of his mouth, Greeny. You remember the last time I was on the show and I said that KD was going to be Batman, James Harden was going to be Robin, and Kyrie was going to be Alfred the Butler? You might as well throw that out the window, because Kyrie Irving is not taking a backseat to no one, and he showed us that last night.
So I just wrote this down for you here. KD took 25 shots in the game last night. Kyrie took 28. James Harden took only 14. How does that formula sound to you going forward?
Well, it don't sound good. And here's the thing. Steve Nash has to do a better job of staggering their minutes. He has to play Kyrie Irving in a 6-man role. That doesn't mean he doesn't start him, but when you look at what the bench gave them yesterday, it was only 10 points. Bring Kyrie back in with that second unit and let him rock out, because he's not passing the ball. On top of that, you're going to need a guy like Joe Harris to come up big for you in the playoffs. And last night, his shots wasn't there. They wasn't finding him to get good looks, and they're going to need him. So Steve Nash is going to have to address this team like a mannequin and let them know that sacrifice, team ball, all three of these guys need to be taking under 20-shot attempts a game in order for this to be a success, in my opinion.
And we will all pay all the attention in the world, and understandably, to that side of the floor. But at the end of the day, the Cavaliers came into this game as the worst offense in the NBA. And the Nets allowed them 147 points, granted, in 2 overtimes. Can they stop anybody? Is their defense as much of a concern as I think it is?
Hell yeah, it is, Green. Look, right now the Nets can't stop you, Dan Orlovsky, Big Damian Woody, Big Marcus Spears, and Ryan Clark at LA Fitness. They cannot guard anybody. And look, I said this when they traded Jared Allen, that they were going to miss him, and they did. When you watched them last night, they moved Kevin Durant to the 5, and that wasn't a good look. The Cleveland Cavaliers shot 50% from the field, 50% from 3, and let's just not go get it. So, I mean, I don't know if they need to, go over schemes or defensive schemes or whatever they need to do, but they got to figure it out right now on the defensive side.
Okay, and so all of that is great, and we will have plenty more time to break down the hoops. But there was one other thing I wanted to bring up with you, Kendrick, and in order to do this, I want to bring our friends Damian Woody and Dominique Foxworth in early this morning. We have had a great deal of fun so far this week, Kendrick, watching the video you posted of your son playing basketball over the weekend. The swag is remarkable. Big Perk, take us through this a little bit here. Look at that.
Well, Greeny, look, I'm raising little beasts over here. So, look, and he was 7 years old at the time. He's 9 now. But, look, we don't have friends when we step on the court. I don't care what age you is. You got to dominate. And you see the walk, Greeny. That's called swag. That's called bringing that intensity.
Can I just confirm once again that the video we're watching here is your son was 7 years old?
Yeah, he was 7 at the time, Greeny.
He was 7 at the time. You know the expression, Neek, he was big when he was little? I mean, I've never seen a better demonstration of that in my entire life.
I mean, I think because he's Perk's son, you want to call him Little Perk because Perk is Big Perk, but I feel like it's just two Big Perks. And I've seen the 9-year-old videos. He's put them up. The man got a block and then went down on the other end of the floor and shot a 3. He didn't seem to need any help. That man is a beast, and I hope you got him playing some D tackle, too. At that size and that intensity, nobody's running the ball against that dude.
Yeah, D Wood, I was thinking that guy looks more like an NFL. He looks like an NFL player waiting to happen than an NBA player.
Hey, listen. Big Perk and now we some big dudes, man. But I'm gonna have to tell Perk, I'm gonna come down to Texas and check out that birth certificate, cause man, that boy is too swole, Perk. Ain't no way that boy 9 years old. What you feeding? You got them grits going on down there with that boy.
Hey, D. Woody, Greeny, you right. He do play football. He played nose guard to be exact. But hey, look, you know how we doing it down here, Greeny. We raising nothing but beasts, Woody and Foxy, nothing but beasts. If he want to play football, that's okay with me too.
I love it. You know what? If the Nets right now need someone to play some defense, it looks like you might have the answer for their problem.